Let's go!
Back at the beginning of June, the Nationals released Victor Robles, and seemingly just 2 months later, the rest is history. The Mariners signed Victor Robles, and in the 42 games that Robles has appeared in with the Mariners, he's amassed 123 plate appearances, he's hit 3 home runs, and he's scored 15 times. He's also stolen 12 bags. He's putting up a slash line of 303, a 372 on base, and a 450 slugging, while putting up a 139 WRC+. He's amassed 1.2 WAR, 1.2 wins above replacement, that's F-WAR, in those 42 games. Victor Robles has been one of the best players in all of baseball since joining Seattle. His strikeout percentage is lower than his career norm. It's at 16.3% with Seattle, and his walk percentage is right around the same to his career norm at 6.5%. The big news, though, is Robles just signed an extension. The Mariners do not just have Robles till the end of the year, and they're not waiting around until free agency to lock him up. He's Seattle's for at least the next 2 years. Could be a third, and we'll talk about the breakdown of this contract right now. So it was originally reported by Yancen Pujols that Victor Robles will be signing a 2-year, $9.75 million contract, which will include a $9 million club option for 2027, and could reach up to $21 million with incentives. It's not a player option, it's a club option. So this deal could go to 3 years, $18 million, if you will. So $6 million annual average for a guy like Victor Robles, who has put up such great numbers since joining Seattle and basically has just won the hearts of the Seattle Mariners fandom from the beginning, aside from maybe the first game where he dropped the ball and grounded into a double play. It was a pretty tough scene out there for Victor Robles, but ever since then, he has completely turned a corner, turned a new leaf, and become a fan favorite. This is all also coming off the heels of him absolutely just taking over Sunday Night Baseball, being the mic'd up player for the Mariners, having a blast, shouting on the broadcast when Jorge Polanco hit his home run, just having the time of his life. And the writing was on the wall. So many different times in interviews after games and just media portions leading up to this moment, Victor Robles is like, yeah, I want to stay here. I want to be here. I feel comfortable here. And here we are. On August 12th, the Mariners got their guy for, I'd say, a relatively reasonable cost. If you're expanding this to a 3-year, $18.75 million deal for a guy that can play center field for you until Julio Rodriguez is back and then will likely go out to a corner, you're getting above average defense in center, definitely above average defense in a corner, and a guy who's been leading off for you ever since J.P. Crawford went on the shelf. Victor Robles, sure, will this run continue? Will he continue to slash 303, 372 with a 450 slug? I don't know. He's never been that level of a career hitter in the past. His best offensive year was in 2018, where he only amassed 66 plate appearances. Him, Julio, and Randy, that's just an outfield that a lot of Mariners fans should be excited about going forward. Him and Randy, ever since we acquired Randy at the trade deadline, it's felt like they were like a match made in heaven. And maybe they're kind of two sides of the same coin, where Victor Robles is this like loud, boisterous, very like, energy-driven guy. Randy may not be loud and boisterous, but he's definitely bringing that same energy, that same vibe, that very like, he's just got great, as the kids say, aura. And Victor Robles, if there's one word that maybe describes how just impactful that he is, aura is a pretty darn good one. Victor Robles gets a 2-year, $9.75 million contract, similar, I feel like, to like a Dylan Moore-esque contract. That was 3 years, $8.875 million. So obviously Robles is a little bit more pricey, but for good reason. I think Robles is definitely a more everyday player than Dylan Moore. This is a steal from the Mariners front office. Thank goodness they did not let him get to the open market. If he continued to put on this level of performance the rest of the season, he probably could have got more money elsewhere. But if he has found a home in Seattle, this bodes well going forward for other guys to maybe feel okay in turning to Seattle in free agency, or maybe somehow bringing their career back in a sense. Because so many times, and we don't need to point fingers, there have been guys that have been brought in that have not succeeded offensively. Robles being a bright spot that has succeeded so far offensively is such a great sign, and it's great to see him rewarded with it. I know a lot of Mariners fans are going to be happy that he is a Mariner for at least the next 2 years. And if he's not an everyday outfielder, if he does slow down, he's a great fourth outfielder to have, a great speed threat, great defensive tool, and has shown flashes of that he can get hot and kind of carry an offense going forward. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Are you excited that Victor Robles will be a Mariner for the next 2 to 3 years? My vote is obviously yes, but I want to hear from you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and go Mariners.